one of the big themes I'm hearing on Sitecore Symposium show floor is not even about the conference itself. The big conversations are about the importance of in-person events and those moments of serendipity. For example, I need to give a big shout out to Ryan and a team of other journos who I had a meal with last night, just exchanging stories at a German restaurant called the Berghof. And today I bump into two fellow Europeans who flew in from Germany to talk about their work with Metro Digital. So we have people from so many different countries talking about food, exchanging stories, talking about the conference, the importance of technology, personalization, digital experiences, and the role of people in all that. And today, every B2B omnichannel retail user experience is expected to be seamless without boundaries for users. And the promotion of well-aligned journeys and a fully integrated experience across all channels. But again, on the show floor, business leaders have concerns around this, and the questions you hear are, is it possible to truly achieve that in a big company that's got a huge history, complex processes, and trying to bring in new things while keeping their customers happy and engaged? It is incredibly overwhelming and stressful. And this is a big topic that I'm going to explore in today's episode at Sitecore Symposium conference here in Chicago, and I found the perfect guests to explore this with. And they are Tobias Schröder and Rehan Saleem from Metro Digital, where together we'll be sharing the peaks and the valleys of building human-centered solutions with technology while handling business models and shops in 23 different countries I think they're working at the moment. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to Chicago, where you can join the three of us in conversation today. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
My name is Rehan Saleem. I'm a product manager since last 10 years, working to really solve customer problems with a business and tech focus. And since last 4 years, working for Metro Digital, focusing on a B2B website with content and commerce solution and working with Sitecore. And today, very happy to be here at Sitecore Symposium and talking about our achievements.
Hi, my name is Tobias. I'm also product manager at Metro Digital. Before that, I was a full stack engineer for more than 5 years. Therefore, bad for my team. I know how to code. I'm also Rehan's counterpart, responsible for the Metro and micro websites over the world for the topic of personalization. I'm also happy to be here today.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. And Metro Digital does have a reputation for having a passion for food and a hunger for tech. But for people hearing about you guys for the very first time, can you just tell me a little bit more about the kind of problems that you set out to solve with technology?
It's literally anything. If you imagine of your favorite restaurant out there, you have maybe the chef there that is shopping at any e-commerce website. We are the guys then that building really completely everything that is needed maybe for that restaurant owner. It's beginning with the first touch points about maybe having an app, having different communication channels that we are providing, newsletters, SMS campaigns, and so on. We are providing websites for the countries where the restaurant owner can get the newest inspirations, trends, reading our blogs about new food trends. We're building the shop system on our own, and then it goes further to the complete fulfillment chain with the order management in the background, software for the picking in the warehouses. We have apps for the drivers that are really doing the FSD business, and then also stuff to support the sales force out there. We also do cash systems for our stores where you can go physically buying the stuff. So yeah, it's literally everything that you need to run your business.
Fantastic. And today, I think every B2B omnichannel retail user experience is expected to be, yes, seamless, but also without any boundaries for users, with a well-aligned journey and fully integrated experience across all channels. But can that truly be achieved in a big company with a huge history of complex processes while keeping customers happy, engaged? Because this is a topic that you've explored in your session today. And for people that are listening around the world that missed that session, can you just offer an overview of everything that you covered and how that is actually possible?
Sure. Simple answer, yes, it is possible. Indeed, there are challenges in a huge organization like Metro, and the challenges are both from organizational perspective and also from the business perspective. And how we are trying to solve it, and I believe that we have successfully solved most of the problems, is with OKRs. That is, if you have heard, your listeners, is Objectives and Key Results, which is introduced by Google, and Google is using it since 1999 now. I remember 4 years ago when I joined Metro Digital, that was the time when OKRs were introduced in Metro Digital, that we need to start working with that. What it helps us to, as a product organization, that what we are building, to get the answer why we are building that, plus also the alignments which are needed. Alignments across the different solutions which are in the organization, and then how to communicate with each other. That's one part of the organizational problem which we solve. But then we also have a business problem, or business, not problem, I must say, business challenges, and that is the strategy. Because with OKRs, what we have been able to achieve is to really challenge our management and everyone on top to convey the real strategy. What is the strategy behind Metro? Where do we want to go? And that's based on this. What we are doing is every 6 months we define OKRs, and these OKRs are defined from top level to the product teams. So C-level Metro board is defining the OKR. What are the next 6 months? We have the objectives, and what are the key results that we are going to measure the success of those objectives. And that keeps on then coming to the product team in the end, who then decide what we are going to build. So that is one way of solving this complexity, which can be in the organization with the help of OKRs, and that's what we have been doing. But coming back also to the second question, which you mentioned in our session, what we have tried to convey in our session was exactly the story of our last couple of years. We initiated a new project called Metro X, where we actually had the same issues, that there were different solutions, how to combine them together and how to build a seamless user journey for our customers. Because customers do not care if a certain product is working in one solution and there's a commerce solution and there is a customer profile solution. They don't care if they are solution divided. For them, it's one website. And that's where we focused on. And we created seamless user journey there. And that's something which we shared also in our talk, how by creating different web modules with the help of Sitecore and providing from one product the common header, the common navigation, the common footer into all products or all solutions which we have, created this illusion, and in the end also the right user journey. The customer does not feel that, okay, now the header is looking blue, where on the website with the content part it was looking great. So these kind of topics which we resolved, plus also complete user journey end to end, that a customer who starts with content part is interested in a product, how the customer then goes to the commerce part, add to the cart, and then how the customer can also manage the profiles where the order would be delivered. So all these things end to end, all products coming together and solving that topic. Along with that, we talked about personalization as well, because yes, user journeys are important. Customer need to go through to reach its goals, but cherry on top is personalization. If you can directly give the content what customer is looking for, that is something which we also focused on. And then in the last 1 or 2 years, our KPIs have also immensely improved there. But at the same time, not everything is, is good. There are also challenges which we faced. And we had the challenges, we call it ITAC, with respect to awareness, initiation, transaction, interaction, and the community. And these are the challenges which we faced, and we tried to work on it. And in the end, certain recommendations that what you can do in your organization to solve all these organizational challenges, plus also the business challenges, is know your data. Build product based on your data. What you need to define, what are the KPIs you want to improve. Do not work with just getting stakeholders asking you to build this feature. That's not the way to go forward. Then standardization, a very important topic. I guess most of the organizations which fail is because they do not standardize, meaning Metro is in 23 different countries. If we build centrally a solution which is different for each 23 country, you are never going to achieve that. So you have to centralize and create a standard approach. Take the example of Starbucks. You go to whatever country, they have the same menu almost, right? There could be some small here and there changes added, but the menu is same. And that is the success model which we followed, and we built the standard solution, which we provided to all 23 countries. And at the end, focus on personalization. Give the customers what they need.
And I'm curious, from the conversations you're having with your own customers and people on the show floor here, many big businesses in particular think, hey, what we do is different. We don't fit in that box, or we do have those complex processes and we're too big and it's too clunky. Are you seeing a move away from that attitude now and the more we need to change to deliver these experiences?
Exactly. I would say that's a organizational change and the cultural change also, which you need to bring. And that I believe there's one term that's called product organization. That it all comes back to the product organization, how you are building the product in an agile environment. And by that, what we have done is, again, going back to the OKR, we are not taking from our stakeholder request. We are really challenging them. Colleagues, can you tell us what is your objective? What is the KPI you want to improve? So that product teams take the ownership, develop what they want, what customer needs, and what does the business needs. And then when they have implemented, they look at data. As I mentioned, data is important. And convey in the manner of data, this is the KPI which we improved, and this is the success which we are achieving. So in the end, giving empowerment and trust to the teams, which are then building the product which are really needed by the customer, not by someone who was sitting at C-level and saw something, and then can you build that?
We've all seen examples of that. And for anyone listening anywhere in the world, what are the biggest takeaways you wanted attendees to walk away from the session? And when they leave here and they're on the plane ride home or on that car journey home, what do you want them thinking about having seen your presentation?
In general, we have 3 takeaways, and Rehan already mentioned them shortly. The first one is really know your data. We already discussed OKRs, but how should you really improve your business? How should you really know what the users needs if you do not know how to measure if you are successful? So if you collect the data, also try to interpret the data, visualize that, and really keep the data close. It's like coming back to my restaurant story, like a recipe. If you do not know your ingredients, how good your ingredients are, you cannot make a proper deep dish pizza in Chicago. You're just ruined. Yeah. Therefore, just keep your ingredients close to you, get to know everything, and then you can make an awesome pie out of that. Second one is the standardized content. Standardized content doesn't mean that content need to be the same everywhere. Also here, I'd like to talk about the restaurant again. If you have a restaurant but no proper menu card adapted and customers can just order what they want, you have totally chaos in your kitchen. But if you have some kind of menu, you are still able to have common requests from your customers, like, please give me a potato instead of the French fries, but the overall basis is the same. And that is also the third topic, personalization. So personalized with a meaning. Not just doing it because it's now fancy and everyone is talking about that. Really get to know your customers. You can start on a very high level with so-called segmentation, just doing it in different groups, like maybe you have your restaurant owners, maybe you go for different zip codes, maybe you go for the order size that your customers have. But at least try to start somewhere with the personalization and then narrow down. Also there you have the problem again, where should the content be, how to address the content. But if you start on the highest level, you get a feeling how to go further on and also get use of some machine learning technologies. There are many great possibilities out there, especially also with Sitecore. There are many options how to really boost the personalization game for your customers.
Although this is a daily tech podcast, it is easy to get lost in the technology. So can you tell me a little bit more about your passion around also being more human-centered with your solutions, especially when handling business models and shops in something like 23 countries, I believe. So do you think the human element is often underestimated?
And I just realized it actually. I was in a conference speaking just last 1 month ago, and there were colleagues from different industries, the automobile and others. Sometimes what happens is if you're working in an environment and everything is working good and you are human focused and you are doing the discovery, you believe outer side everyone is also doing the same. And that's where I realized by talking with them that when I presented OKRs or I talked about discovery, it's not that common. And that is something which I believe Metro Digital is doing pretty good. What we call also, again, product managers, which we have. Product managers, of course, can be different kind of product managers, which I understand. They could be focused on delivery. They could be focused on discovery. And that's what we have defined in Metro Digital. We are more product discovery focused product managers. So in this means what we do is that we know that customer is very important part that we need to build based on the customer needs. And hence in the product teams, we are conducting different customer user researches, meaning when we are developing some new concepts, we create prototypes, we invite our Metro customers in-house, 5 to 6 customers, we present to them, we ask them to go through that, certain use cases are defined, and that's where we get the feedback. We adapt that, our prototype, and afterwards we go into the implementation. So customer is always into the focus, and that's been also encouraged in Metro Digital, and we as a product team are always focused on that.
So refreshing to hear as well. And I'm curious, what are the biggest challenges you've had to overcome on your own journeys here? Because everyone's coming to you to fix their problems, and you're doing a great job at that. But what challenges have you had to overcome?
It's the same what I've been talking about with I guess the OKRs, how challenges which we overcame in a huge organization where we started our discussion today. The issue is with respect to alignments, which is respect to the common strategy that can be provided by business. Because often the product managers you talk to, they would be saying, I don't understand what is our business strategy. It is not conveyed to us. It is just told that, okay, do this or do that. And that's where you are struggling. And these was one of the biggest challenge. And then also the organizational challenge, that how are we conducting the alignments? If I'm working with Sitecore, and that's where the content reside, how is it then handed over to commerce? How is the user journey going to connect? How am I going to align that you should take the user journey from here? And this is the next step with other products which might have different focus right now. That's another challenge. We are focusing on one user journey. It could be the other solution is focusing on totally different topic, right? And then they say, okay, yeah, we can do it, but next 6 months might be then come back, and in the end, you are not agile. You are not bringing your features very fast to outside to your customers to improve on that. And that's where, again, OKR helped us. That really defined, when we are defining the OKRs, we spent almost 1 month before every cycle to create our OKRs and to align where we have the dependencies, to get an alignment. Are you going to support here? Yes, no? Then we can think about, and then here and there, give and take. And in the end, then we resolve that. But these are, in a nutshell, 2 challenges from business perspective, the strategy and the alignment.
And a question I'd love to ask both of you here. I think we're all guilty of sometimes being a little bit closed-minded or locked in our own personal tech bubble and our own worldview. So what keeps you guys up at night, and how do you keep your curiosity and open-mindedness alive?
That's very easy. What keeps me up at night is my little son, of course, 7 months old, therefore not the best sleeper right now. For the business, it's I guess the same also for Rehan. We really enjoy coming to the office from time to time. We are a remote first company, but really seeing your colleagues and having a talk with them just with a cup of coffee, it's unbeatable. On top of that, we really try to be close to our customers. So either the independent countries out there, really trying to have many chats with them, trying also to visit them, but also the end-to-end customers, like the restaurant owners, having some qualitative interviews with them, integrating some tests, just having them close to really get a feeling for the field of our customers. On top of that, we are doing many product discoveries, just seeing what is out there in the new tech bubble over the last months and years. The complete industry has totally changed also the customer's behavior with TikTok and other tools where we are just in an on-demand community right now. You can just swipe. Amazon Prime can deliver overnight. Therefore, the complete expectation by customers is changing so fast that it's really interesting. How can we adapt new user behaviors, like example from TikTok, into the e-commerce world of B2B wholesale?
Yeah. So many big changes. Is there anything you'd like to add on that? Or?
Yeah, I'd just like to add that what's keeping me up is jet lag right now.
So have you come from Europe like
yes,
myself?
we came from Germany.
Yeah.
And it's a 7 hours difference. And trust me, I'm waking up at 2 o'clock at night. And then I'm like, okay, I can't sleep anymore.
I'm exactly the same. So I appreciate you can't share too much, but what's next for Metro Digital? Where do you go from here?
Yes, sure. as Metro Digital, we are the IT solution provider for Metro, and our goal is to be best-in-class solution providers, IT solution providers out there and be the trendsetters also in B2B world. And we want to do it with the focus on product organization, and at the same time, not only digital solutions, which you see that in the form of the website, but we also have our stores. So there is a huge IT solutions which we can provide for offline journeys. So customers who are coming to stores, POS systems, how we can improve the experience in store from digital perspective as well. So these are the two focus areas which we have. And in the end, we want to be the leader in the B2B world, and provide the solutions which others can also adapt to and can look forward to implement in their own organizations.
Now, one of the things that everyone has missed from in-person conferences is the serendipity that comes with those random conversations with strangers and customers on the show floor. But I'm curious, are there any themes from the conversations you're having on the show floor here at Symposium?
Yes, totally. For me, the first time here in America and also the first time on the Symposium, it's quite a difference to common conference we have in Europe. Here, everything is just bigger, bolder, more brightful. And that is also why my mind is currently blown away. There are so many different topics already presented in the keynotes this morning, where I just want to get my hands on with my development team when it comes to personalization. I cannot mention just one topic. There's just too much stuff right now out there, and I'm really curious to get home to tell them about that.
Anything from you on that one as well?
At the same. It's been first time that I'm also even visiting US. So that was there's an experience. Everything is just big. Yeah. Everything is just big. Like if you come from Europe, you are like in awe for some time. On the other hand, a very interesting talk. I love the talk from our CPO, where all these different topics were presented with respect to the cloud, XM Cloud, and that's something which we take as for our organization, because right now we are in XP, and we might need to move there, and we need to now exactly connecting with product. We need to work on the product strategy. What is coming in next 2 years? How we can prepare if we want to go towards cloud. So these are the things which we already started discussing, both of us, and we'll be taking to our developers and engineers to further discuss on it and then develop the product strategy accordingly.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to have a bit of fun with you before you both go now. A question I've been asking all my guests is, can they leave everyone listening with either a book that has inspired them for our Amazon wish list or a song for our Spotify playlist? So what are you going to leave us with today and why?
Sure. The answer is somehow also in your question. You just mentioned inspired. Inspired by Marty Kagan, product developer, product manager. And also, I would like to add a couple of, if I may, also empowered, if you're looking for product leadership as well. And another book I'm a fan of is How to Escape the Build Trap, I guess, from Melissa Perry. She's a US writer.
Yeah.
So these three books, definitely, if you are into product development and product leadership, that to consider, and it would help you a lot.
Awesome. Well, I'll get both of those, all three of those books added to the wish list. Over to you, my friend. The pressure's on you now to deliver.
Same for me, since I was a developer before and then changed to product development. No, I do the same mistake. Product management. Those two books by Marty Kagan have been the perfect foundation really to find a way into product management. And I can highly recommend everyone to read those books if you're interested in product management.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate how busy you are. You've been on stage as well, but more than anything, just a big thank you for taking the time, sitting down, sharing your story and how you're helping your customers. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
Thank you very much.
A huge thank you to Rehan and Tobias for joining me on the podcast today. For me, that is what this podcast is all about, those bumping into people on a show floor, getting them on the podcast, having a picture together. If you go on Twitter, you'll find a picture where I think Tobias tweeted out today of a behind-the-scenes look at the podcast. But just three people having a chat about what we're seeing. That is where the magic happens. And you've heard from us three today. You've heard from me here in Chicago and also Tobias and Rehan. But what about you? Wherever you are located in the world, I want to hear about your challenges, what you're doing to overcome them. Maybe a different opinion to what you've heard today. Well, I want to get all these voices onto this podcast. So email me now, techblogwriter@outlook.com, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. at Neil C. Hughes. Keep your messages coming in. Let's keep this conversation going. And I also cordially invite you to join me again tomorrow, where we're going to do it all again. So a big thank you for listening as always. And until next time, don't be a stranger.